Whew. Just take a deep breath here. Let's just take a deep breath because the last time I talked to you guys on Lakers Talk Daily, it was the news that Luka Doncic was going to be out for the rest of the NBA regular season and possibly the first round of the NBA playoffs. So we discussed that. And then literally in a span of 24 hours, we get news about Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves now going to be out 4 to 6 weeks with a left oblique strain. So now you're telling me right now, and listen when I say this, you're telling me that two of your main guys, your main scorers, and your primary ball handlers are going to be out the lineup, especially at the time where the NBA playoffs are literally 1 week away? Ooh, this might be tough. It's going to be tough to see if the Lakers can try to get a first round win because JJ Redick said they're going to try to do as much as they can to expand their season, get past the first round in order for both of them to return to the lineups. Now, there was some good news around Luka Doncic that we could touch on. But before we do any of that, we have to let my partners at Pachanga, I have to talk about my friends at Pachanga Resort Casino, and you can play a perfect combination at Pachanga Resort Casino, the official Native American resort and casino of the Los Angeles Lakers. Skip the traffic. Head on over to Pachanga Resort Casino just off the I-15 in Temecula. Visit pachanga.com or call 888-PACHANGA for reservations and for more information. Man. So last night, the Lakers lost to the Dallas Mavericks 134 to 128 in a game where you have no Austin Reeves, you have no Luka Doncic, and then you're also without Marcus Smart. So then you look at it. Who is going to be the primary ball handler besides LeBron James? That role increased real quick for Luke Kennard. Now, Luke Kennard did have a triple-double. He did have a triple-double. He had 16 rebounds, and 11 assists. I know he did not shoot the ball well, but that's because the assignment that he had going into that game against the Dallas Mavericks, it was a lot. You're telling me he has to get the offense set, and they got to find a way to get the ball off of LeBron James' hands because what? LeBron James has been that third usage player. So now LeBron James' role all of a sudden switches just like that, and you need him to do more. Now, LeBron James had a really good game last night with 30 points, 15 assists, 9 rebounds. Good. But the Dallas Mavericks were able to get up to a 20-point lead. Now, some positives. I'm throw some positives out there. The first one is that the Lakers fought, they competed. That's one positive that we can look at. They came back from a 20-point lead, a 20-point deficit in a game where we thought, okay, the Mavericks beat up 20 points. The Lakers might as well just put those rotational guys in. But we know JJ Redick doesn't do that. He doesn't just throw rotation guys in. He doesn't wave the white flag. Okay. And then we saw some production out of Luke Kennard. Now, the only thing is that losing to the Dallas Mavericks, a team that you can't really, they're not tanking, but they're just not good enough. They had a lot of injuries in their lineup. And you're telling me that we're trying to expect this team, this current roster, the way that they are constructed without Luke Kennard, without Luka Doncic, without Austin Reeves, and Marcus Smart is going to return into the lineup. So the Lakers are going to get back their defensive anchor. They're going to get back their guy who sets the tone defensively. And he also is going to be that primary ball handler, bringing the ball up, kind of take the load off of LeBron James, hopefully can take the load off Luke Kennard, and hopefully get them into their offense. But giving up 45 points to Cooper Flagg and the way he was getting those 45 points, and it was all at Luke Kennard. And there's no disrespect to Luke Kennard. There's no disrespect to him. That's a big assignment for him to guard a rookie of Cooper Flagg's caliber, his skill set. That is going to be the issue in the first round. Let's just be honest. With Cooper Flagg putting up 45 points and getting to the basket every single time in that game, you're telling me that Kevin Durant's not going to get to his bread and butter? You're telling me that Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic not going to be able to get to their bread and butter? Now, the positives that we also can look at is that the Lakers cannot finish nowhere below the 5th seed. due to the Minnesota Timberwolves losing to the Charlotte Hornets. So the Lakers, once again, they cannot finish anywhere below the 5th seed. But you look at the standings, and the Lakers are 50-28. The Denver Nuggets are 50-28. Now the Lakers do hold the tiebreaker, but with the remaining games for the Lakers, they got Oklahoma City tomorrow night, and we might as well just circle that one a loss. Then they got the Golden State Warriors, who are coming off of a hard-fought game. Stephen Curry is back into the lineup. They were this close to being the Houston Rockets in last night's game in the doubleheader on NBC. And then you're telling me that they got to play the Phoenix Suns, who the Phoenix Suns have gave the Lakers trouble. And without Luka Doncic and without Austin Reeves, that's going to be some issues. The one game that I can really circle that they can hopefully win. And I'm saying hopefully because Utah Jazz is still a team that got some guys that can go out there and play. Hopefully they can beat the Utah Jazz. And now you just see it of every single thing that literally is going wrong for the Lakers. And after all the positives that we have said, they're 15-2 in the month of March. Luka Doncic's MVP race. He is neck and neck with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He can potentially, if they win this game against the Thunder, or if they lose, but the numbers look really well, and he's outperformed Shai Gilgeous. And then followed up on Tuesday, and the Oklahoma City Thunder are coming into town. If the Lakers can beat them, we were throwing out all these different scenarios. Lakers have a chance to secure the 3rd seed, get home court advantage. We were throwing out all of these different scenarios because, as we should, they're playing really good basketball. And then Luka Doncic comes out with the hamstring injury. Austin Reeves goes out with the left oblique strain. And then the timeline of how long they're going to miss. Tell me Luka Doncic is going to be missing the first round of playoffs potentially. Then you're also going to tell me that Austin Reeves is going to miss the first round of the playoffs. There goes two. First off, your superstar Luka Doncic. But there goes your other guy who creates and gets you buckets in Austin Reeves. And you're telling me that JJ Redick is going to try to get the most out of these guys and try to carry that over into the playoffs? And I hate this. Now, we have to be honest with it. The real likelihood scenario of them actually getting out of the first round is going to be tough. Now, I was on with BK, Brian Kamenetsky on Locked On Lakers podcast, and we try to throw out a scenario if the Lakers do end up facing against the Houston Rockets, and if that's still a winnable series. And it's really hard to look at that, knowing that you don't have your two main guys. And just like Brian in the YouTube chat said, the season most likely ended last Thursday when they got punched in the mouth against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I know everyone was throwing out those different scenarios. They were throwing out, why did JJ Redick keep Luka Doncic in the game? He should have subbed him out, knowing that he has been on the injury report with left hamstring soreness. Why keep Austin Reeves in the game? This clip right here. The moment you see him go after that loose ball, and he's literally just grimacing in pain, immediately grabbing on his left side, and they're still trying to play, trying to get in the pick and roll game, trying to throw a lob to DeAndre, and the ball goes out of bounds, and you just see him holding on to it. Now, you can make that case. JJ Redick, sub them out. Get them out of the damn game. But also you can make that case, like Brian Kamenetsky brought up, is that what if he was keeping them in the game to see if they can possibly figure out ways, because knowing that they can get the Oklahoma City Thunder in the second round and trying to figure out any single way to either get a good scouting report to see what they can fix, see what the corrections they can make leading into the playoffs, knowing that they can match up against them. And I just had to stop them right there and said, look, regardless if they can find something, regardless if they see something that they can correct and fix, there's no real scenario. There was never going to be a real scenario of the Lakers beating Oklahoma City Thunder just by the way they have been beating them this year. And we always go back. We went back to last year. Oh, they had really good success against the Thunder when Luka Doncic got acquired. And then late into that second half of the season, we seen them. That was a game when Luka Doncic got thrown out. Lakers potentially could have won that game. All this stuff. That has not been the case this season. Oklahoma City Thunder, they have given the Lakers their largest deficit of losses. They have been blown out by the Oklahoma City Thunder. So you can make that argument. that JJ Redick should have pulled his guys and seeing what and get better results as far as Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. But now being without two of your main guys in a season where we genuinely woke up on Thursday, and I did too. I was like, man, I can't wait for this game against the Thunder. They're playing really, really well. I can't wait to see what the Lakers team can match up with. I can't wait to see if the MVP race can can go, inch by, get closer and closer. I can't wait to see if the Lakers can actually go out here. And if they do lose, at least it's competitive and they have something that they can carry into the playoffs. And then the way they rolled into that first half and the way that they lost and then the injuries that started to come with it, this Lakers season literally went just like that, real quick. Now, some positives and there's some things that I have brought up all these different negatives, and I want to try to keep it neutral here, is that there's some positives because Luka Doncic, as we're seeing right here, that after consultation with the Lakers doctors and his own medical team, Luka Doncic will seek specialized medical treatment in Europe on his grade 2 left hamstring in an attempt to expedite his return to play. Now, I've seen the clips of Dr. Clapper going on with the Sedano Cat Morning Show and breaking down that case of him going out there in Europe and seeking treatment. I know they brought up Kobe going out there and him seeking treatment for the injury that Kobe Bryant had and how the similarities could be. And one thing that was really, really eye-popping for me and this is, again, Dr. Robert Clapper. We got to give respect to Dr. Clapper here. Of him saying that him doing all that treatment and getting everything right, he's still going to have a little bit of issues on the basketball court. And when I hear that, I'm like, okay, maybe he's not gonna have that same level of explosiveness. He's not going to be able to get to the spots the right way. He's still going to be grimacing in pain, even though he went out there and got specialized treatment. And then the real possibility of him returning in that first round is like, do you really want to rush him back? Because we've seen guys who have a little bit of soreness. And again, a calf strain is definitely different from a hamstring strain. But still, you don't want to get into a scenario where the extent of the injury gets even worse. And if the Lakers don't actually go out there and win a first-round series, because Austin Reeves returning, Dr. Clapper saying that Austin Reeves, his injury is not something that you actually go out and heal. It's one of those you got to let it heal on itself and take time off. So his possibility of returning in the first round is not likely. And if Luka Doncic is not going to be the MVP Luka Doncic that we were making a case for, then what is at the real point of trying to do that? Now, you could throw out, if they played against the Houston Rockets, we've seen them. They're vulnerable offensively, and they can go out there, and they can keep the same scouting report. They can double Kevin Durant. They can blitz him and force him to turn the ball over and then make Amin Thompson be their guy to try to score and then try to go out Alperen Sengun and all these different types of things that we can really, really throw out there. If they were to match up with the Houston Rockets in the first round, they're going to be without Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves. And that is why we just can't overlook that. And that is why everyone, as soon as those news came out, it is sad and it is hard to look at it because everyone and the momentum and everything that was built towards the playoffs, it literally flipped immediately. And it's crazy because I went in and talked to you guys, okay, they still got Austin Reeves. They have a puncher's chance, even though they don't have Luka Doncic. And then just going back here and seeing what you guys are saying, it's like, why? What is the point if they can't go out there? And we've seen what they did against the Dallas Mavericks. These teams, the other teams in the Western Conference, they're going to beat them if we're being realistic. Can they get one game? Possibly so. But as far as winning a 7-game series, I just don't really see that real scenario of them winning now, especially without two of your main guys. And there's another thing that I want to throw out there with you guys is that we were waiting for this playoffs to get another eye test on Austin Reeves and whether or not to see if he is going to be the perfect fit around Luka Doncic for the long term. That is what we were hoping for the playoffs, not only because we were excited because of the way the Lakers were playing in the second half of the NBA season, but also was able to give you guys as fans, me as a fan, the Lakers front office, into potentially seeing if they have success and they do end up winning a first round matchup, can they actually pay Austin Reeves that money? Can they actually go out there in the offseason and get him that contract and trust him to be alongside Luka Doncic for the foreseeable future? So we could touch on that. But before we do any of that, I have to let my partners at Pachanga give you guys a quick word.
At Pachanga Resort Casino, you can rock and roll, sip and slide, twist and shout. Play your perfect combination at Pachanga Resort Casino, official Indian gaming sponsor of the Lakers.
What is going on? Welcome back to Lakers Talk Daily. The Lakers lost last night to the Dallas Mavericks from 134 to 128. And I just try to wrap my head around that game specifically is that, yeah, they fought. They really, really did. They fought in that game. But when you're down early by 20 points, it's hard to come back from something like that. And it's just crazy how quickly things happen in the NBA season. And that is why we always say it, is that the goal is not only try to stay at the top of the Western Conference standings, but health. You got to be able to stay healthy, especially going into the playoffs. And I see you guys in YouTube chat as I broke down Luka Doncic going to Europe, seeking specialized treatment and seeing if he can come back a little bit earlier. And you guys in YouTube chat saying Luka Doncic should not come back and saying that look what happened to Aaron Gordon, which was a really, really good case. Aaron Gordon, when he came back, and remind you, that was in the Oklahoma City Thunder series when Aaron Gordon came back. He was balling. He was playing really, really well. Hell, he won them a game in that series against Oklahoma City Thunder. Remember that Russell Westbrook going downhill, kick out to Aaron Gordon on the left side of the wing, knockdown shot. And then one of the games in that 7-game series, Aaron Gordon, unfortunately, the hamstring that he had a lot of soreness on did not help him out and ended up missing the rest of that series only because there was soreness that was building up towards it. And he tried to come back and his season ended up being over. And that is not what we want with Luka Doncic because you want to protect him. You want to be able to make sure that you want him for the foreseeable future. You want Luka Doncic, a healthy Luka Doncic next year. And you don't want to rush him back. And you don't want to make this injury worse than what it is right now. And I get it, what you guys are saying. Do not rush him back. Don't. If they feel like they can extend their season, if they feel like they can go out there with a first-round matchup, as JJ Redick is saying, as LeBron James is saying that he believes that they can possibly do that and win a first-round matchup, then that's when you take your chances. But rushing them back early in that first round, I don't think that is a smart thing to do. Only because we've seen the injury history that has been going on throughout these past couple of seasons for the NBA. Now, as far as Austin Reeves, I had a really good conversation and I was just thinking about it. I'm like, man, the injury history of Austin Reeves has kind of been there. You know, he's been hurt a lot. He really has been hurt a lot. And so that's one thing that this Lakers front office is going to have to take in consideration. And then also, we were waiting to see if his playoff performance would be better than last year. And that's another thing that we had our eyes set and looking forward to. And then now you see him going out with the injury. And then you don't get that eye test to see how he performs in the playoffs. Knowing that he's going out there and test the free agency market and to be a maximum contract guy. Now you're not going to be able to get that test if you're the Lakers front office. And the Lakers are going to have a lot of work to do this offseason because now you're still in that middle of do we bring LeBron James back, knowing that he is playing really, really well, being that third usage guy. And then are we going to give Austin Reeves that maximum contract money, knowing that we did not get a chance to see how he performs in this year's playoffs, but also coming to understanding that he hasn't really been healthy that much. I know the toll of him in the first half of the season has been there, but remember, he's missed some time early this season as well. And then now going into the second half, he's also missing time at one of the worst parts of the season. So his injury history has been there. And that is another conversation that the Lakers are going to have. And then now we also got to take that this offseason as well, they got to figure out their scouting department. They have no one in the scouting department. And then they're going to take a real look at this medical staff. Not saying that the Lakers medical staff is terrible or anything, but they're going to have a real conversation when it comes to them because them getting reports, J.J. Redick getting reports that Austin Reeves' injury is not going to be this timeline and that he wasn't going to miss this, and then coming back and following up literally that there was a mistake that was made and that he's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. That is a problem, and that is going to be a concern. So I hate to look ahead and look into the offseason knowing that the Lakers had a chance to actually win a first-round matchup, just the way that they're playing. But it all goes back to when you don't have your true point guard, you don't have your other primary ball handler, you don't have your 40-point scorer, and you don't have your 20 to 25-point scorer, and your two main guys, it makes it really, really difficult for them to win a playoff series. And just to read a couple more stuff off with you guys in the YouTube chat, Kyle Cruz, DeAndre, with Luka and Air out, it is crazy not to be realistic and say that they ain't beating Houston or Minnesota in the first round. I think it will be in 6. And I just it's hard. If they were to win a first round matchup against either one of those teams, I would sit here and be like, damn, they actually did that without 2 of their main guys. But just to say that they actually win a 7-game series against them, I'm just being honest with how I see it. I don't see that really being the case that they can go out there and win a first-round series where you don't have your 2 main guys. Now, to kind of help me elaborate more onto this, and I want to get his thoughts into everything that I've been discussing with you guys on Lakers Talk Daily. You guys already know who's going to come out with me. You guys are very, very familiar with my guy, John. John, what's going on, man? How are we doing today?
We doing all right, brother. There's been better days, but we trying our best. We are trying our best as Laker fans to stay hopeful. You know what I mean, brother?
Mm-hmm. Look, man, I honestly, I'm very disappointed. That is the one word I am going to say. I'm very, very disappointed in how the season is starting to wind down because we had so much hope in them winning a first round matchup. We had the fans, everything was buzzing around the city of LA. We were talking about different matchups and how they can be favored to win this one against the Houston Rockets. But if they were to get the Minnesota Timberwolves, they still have a chance because understanding what they were able to do defensively and J.J. Redick throwing all these different schemes.
And just like that.
And it took a span of 24 hours.
Our hope stripped from us.
Stripped from us, John. And it's hard. But there's a lot of other different things, not only about this season, but then the Austin Reeves scenario. And now you're not going to get to see how he performs in the playoffs because that is what everyone, as far as Laker fans, and I'm going to say Lakers franchise is going to look into is the reasons to why they could possibly hold back into getting him that maximum contract that he deserves, he deserves. And there's going to be a lot of teams interested in that market of Austin Reeves.
Yes.
But this always just goes towards now, if they do lose a first round matchup, be ready to go. It's time to hit it hard. It's time to get ready to go for the offseason because you cannot waste any more prime years of Luka Doncic.
You can't. You absolutely can't waste his prime anymore. But let me just say this, right? I think it's very important for us Lakers fans to show a little bit of perseverance here. We had a great March, and I think we need to really look at the month of March as our litmus test for what the trio of Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, and LeBron James can really be. They went 15-2 in that month. They beat some good teams, and there seemed to be a chemistry and synergy that was unmatched, and it was only in its infancy, right? Unfortunately, April comes, Luka Doncic with the hamstring and Austin Reeves with the oblique strain. They both go out. I think the even larger question, D, forget about Austin Reeves and him proving what is he going to look like, how is he going to look in the playoffs and him proving himself and all that, blah, blah, blah. I think the convo we need to be having is what's going to happen with LeBron now, right? Because now we're saying, okay, I think LeBron was looking at this season like, all right, I got these 2 guys, Austin Reeves, Luka. I'm the third fiddle. I'm still hooping. He's kind of weighing his options. I mean, now what is he thinking? What do you think?
I'm thinking that he's going into this. I'm telling you right now, seeing what he was trying to do in the Dallas Mavericks game and knowing that he's giving his all. And it sucks because at the age of 41, it's crazy how quickly his role changed as well now. and how much he has to do on the basketball court.
Yep.
And not saying that LeBron James can't do it, but expecting him to do that at the age of 41, it's going to be tough. Mm-hmm. Now, if you want to try to bring him back, all I have to say into that, because I'm sure that how they've seen it worked and seeing him coming back to the Chicago Bulls and everyone saying it's not going to work out. This trio, the numbers don't add up. They don't play well together on the basketball court. They're seeing that them win that game. They won that game, and then following up against the Denver Nuggets and winning that game as well. All of a sudden, you start to see, okay, this could work. Now, only thing I would say is you could take care of LeBron James, and hopefully he comes into that vet minimum, or being that don't get anything crazy in.
D shut out for a second, but I'm thinking this: you bring LeBron James back for the vet minimum, and you try to go out and try to get a guy like a Peyton Watson, get a young, lanky guard who can kind of fill the defensive and offensive holes that this team has in the stead of Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves healing up. Lakers fans, I think it's this time we really start to feel a little optimistic about the future. Yes, some terrible things happen in the month of April. And I think that it's sad, to see your two main guys go out like that. But there's hope, man. There's hope, no doubt. And, we're hoping for it. I believe in this team. I believe in what LeBron can do. D is loaded back in.
Sometimes I just get these random drops, but you know what? We're here to figure it out.
It's all good. Don't even worry about it.
So, as I was saying, and for LeBron James, and as I was saying, as far as what the Lakers can do, and I feel like don't worry about that. What you need to do, and your main goal, is to take care of getting more 3-and-D wing guys. Specific guys who can.
I was just saying that when during your little crash out, I was just saying you try to get a Peyton Watson to fill the holes and bring some energy, right? And bring some life to this Lakers team, some vigor.
So let me throw this at you. So knowing that, seeing how Austin Reeves and how his injury history has been, and seeing how Luka Doncic, and seeing how now he's gotten hurt once again.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. We talked about Aaron Gordon, right? And how he has a hamstring injuries and what he's been dealing with. Mm-hmm. Okay. Peyton Watson, he has missed quite some time this season. Okay. He has been in and out of the lineup.
Okay. What are you about to say?
All I'm saying is you got to be careful. You're going to get Peyton Watson some money. You got to make sure that he can stay healthy for you on the basketball court. You got to make sure that he's taking care of his body.
Bro, he's 23 years old. He's 23. Like, calm down, one, calm down. Two, have you seen what he can do on the court? He's a legit X factor. He can make a difference. A little fun fact, by the way, I actually played against Peyton Watson in high school. That's the only NBA player I ever played against.
No way.
We played against him. He was, I think he was like Long Beach. He went to Long Beach.
Yeah.
He beat their team. But I think he dunked on somebody.
Hold on. You said you guys used to beat Peyton Watson and his team, his squad?
We beat their team, yeah. Our team beat their team. He didn't have a good team, but he was good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Peyton Watson, he's a solid NBA player. But
he's a great NBA player, and he'd be a great Laker. And I think, all right, you're kind of pointing to his injury history, bro. He's 23 years old. Like, with today's modern medicine and the ability to heal, you get him in on a little, get him on some of that Pilates action, get him stretched out, get him get him like work those different muscles that he's probably not always working, and heal up, and he can run and gun for the Lakers. I think he would be a great addition.
So I think he will be a great addition as well. I'm not knocking at his talent, but yeah, Peyton Watson, he's 23, 24 years old, really, really young. And this is what everyone's been saying in the YouTube. And I know we're running low on time, but we're having a really good conversation. Let's just extend just a little bit. Let's extend Lakers talk daily just a little bit, because this is really, really good. Okay, because Austin Reeves is 27 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone in the YouTube chat is saying it's time for Austin Reeves to kind of start switching up a little bit of his,
play style,
of how to, not his play style, as far as proper health, taking care of his body a little bit better. And we've seen how do you play alongside LeBron James and a guy who's taken, again, two different totally body types. We're not trying to compare that, but I'm just saying that if you want to have longevity, if you want to be able to stay on the basketball court, you got to make sure you prioritize the little things and making sure that you can be able to stay on the basketball court. And they brought it up, and I'm glad that people in the YouTube chat have brought this up and brought it to our attention, is that Yeah, we see that he probably does need to switch up his workouts and trying to, as far as mobility, whatever the case is, because Austin Reeves, this throughout the season, he's been hurt and he's missed some time. And he's missing time at the worst point of this, at the worst part of the season. And I'm not saying that, it's like the lingering injuries that he's getting. And oblique injury, one of the rare ones that you end up getting.
Yeah, I saw the video too. I was like, it didn't even look like he had contact. Like he just went up for a rebound. Of course, I hate to say it, but Lou Dort was near him, so
Hey, you got to be careful of Lou Dort.
You got to watch out for Dirty Dort. You got to watch out for Dirty Dort. But he went up for like a rebound or tried to get a loose ball, and then I see him grabbing his side, and I'm like, what happened?
Yeah,
I don't even know how that happens. But
and so and you can't control that. You can't control a little lingering thing like that. But I'm just saying that going for the foreseeable future, and if you're going to pay Austin Reeves that money, and you have the understanding and belief that he is going to be the perfect fit next to Luka Doncic, now it's another concern: can he stay healthy for us? Can he stay on the basketball court?
I think you need to calm down a little bit, bro.
I'm just saying. I get it.
Body at work this whole season. Look at his body at work this whole season. He has balled out and he's filled that role well. All right, he's injured. He'll heal up. Like let's not jump to conclusions about is he worth the money?
I'm not jumping to conclusions. I'm just throwing out.
You sure?
I'm just being up. I'm just looking at all the different scenarios that you have to have conversations about if you're going to want to pay him that money. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying.
I think this is a great point. Let us know how y'all feel about it in the YouTube chat. Is Austin Reeves worth that amount of money given his injury history? But think about how he played this whole season. Don't be a prisoner of the moment.
And I know, and that's why to elaborate more, he was playing at an all-star level this season. Numbers don't lie now.
Numbers don't lie.
Especially the first half of the season when Austin Reeves was out there getting game winners against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and he was carrying the low with LeBron and Luka not in the games.
They call him Hillbilly Kobe for a reason, bro.
So we got to be honest. He has been playing well, but you just got to make sure that the right price. But to wind down this episode, John, I always appreciate you coming on.
Always a pleasure, bro.
I want to give one last thing before we hop on here. Guy, one of the loyal listeners right here on Lakers Talk Daily, David. David Hildreth. I hope I'm not butchering that name, but David Hildreth says he's going to the game tomorrow. It's his first game since 2001. He says hopefully they can keep it within 20. Now, David, all I'm going to tell you is that I am right there with you, and I hope you get the most out of your first game since 2001. My brother, you went 2001? It's been a long, long time. You definitely need to get to a Lakers game, and I'm glad you were able to do so. And you went at the time when the prime Kobe Bryant eras. Man, shout out to you, David. But let's take a little breath, man. Let's breathe. Hopefully the Lakers can figure out a scenario. Hopefully they can extend their season for us. But as of how it's looking right now, really, really skeptical and to see if they can get out of that first round. Let's see what the injury is going to look like for Luka Doncic after he gets some further testing out there outside of the country. Austin Reeves being out 4 to 6 weeks. There's a lot of stuff going on with the Lakers. Let's just see how they can finish off this season. But for myself, you guys in the YouTube chat, my guy John Martin, very, very grateful for him always tuning in. I will be talking to you guys tomorrow. Got the Oklahoma City Thunder in town. Oof. I hope that game isn't ugly. As always, I'll see you guys. We out.